All right, welcome to The Explainer. So, what if the key to understanding your own success wasn't in some self-help book, but in a math class, of all places? Today, we're digging into how you can measure your life using a concept you probably haven't thought about since high school: calculus.
But first, let's start with a question just for you. How do you measure success? Is it money? A job title? Just happiness? The thing is, there's no right answer, is there? It's incredibly personal. So today, let's explore a totally different way to calculate it.
Okay, let's dive right in. Our first section is all about the calculus of success. And look, don't worry, I promise there's not going to be a pop quiz. We're using the word calculus here in a much broader way.
You know, when you hear the word calculus, you probably get flashbacks to some really complex math. But there's this other definition, and honestly, it's way more powerful. It's the act of using practical judgment to figure out what something really means. That's the calculus we're talking about today, your own personal calculation of success.
So that leads to this really foundational idea. What if the most rewarding kind of success is one you can't even compare to anyone else's? It's something that's totally intrinsic, a feeling inside, not some kind of external scoreboard that you're constantly checking.
But if success is so personal, why do so many of us feel like we're just not quite cutting it? And that brings us right to the heart of the matter, the mediocrity misunderstanding, and why just the idea of being average can feel so bad.
Does this sound familiar? You know that feeling, you're just going through the motions day in and day out, and life starts to feel, well, mundane, routine, maybe even a little boring. And you start to wonder, is this it? Am I failing? It's a super common feeling for sure. But what if we're reading the signs all wrong?
Okay, so here is the big reframe. This is huge. On one hand, you've got the common view. Mediocrity is bad, it's a problem we need to fix. But now look at the other side. What if that feeling isn't a lack of success, but a sign of something really powerful, strong stability? What if it's not a rut, but a perfectly balanced scale?
Okay, and this is where it gets really interesting. Let's really dig into this idea of the strength of stability and see how feeling average isn't a failure at all. It's actually a massive achievement you had to work for.
So, the first step is actually pretty simple. It's just a little shift in how you look at things. Take a second and just appreciate that a stable, non-chaotic life is a huge win. I mean, think about it. Things could be way worse, right? So a life without total chaos, well, that is a kind of success in itself.
And this quote, man, it just nails it. Just picture a scale. It's not tipping wildly one way or the other. It's just steady, stable. That state of balance, of equilibrium. That's what mediocrity can represent.
And let's be super clear about this. Getting to this point, it's not an accident. It doesn't just happen. I mean, just think about everything you're juggling every single day. Work, family, health, bills. To get all of that to balance out, that's a huge and often totally invisible skill.
Okay, so if we agree that this stability, this mediocrity is actually a skilled achievement, then what's the point? Well, that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, and maybe the most empowering part. A foundation for growth.
So here's the real payoff. Stability isn't the end goal, it's the launch pad. It creates what you could call foundation space. Think about it. You can't build a skyscraper on quicksand, right? You need solid ground. Stability is that solid ground.
And this really lays out the whole path. First, you use your skills to balance everything life throws at you. That helps you achieve stability. From there, you've built a solid foundation, and this is the key takeaway. It gives you the most powerful thing you can have. You finally know where you can grow from.
And honestly, this is such a freeing idea. So many of us get paralyzed because we think we need to have this grand plan, this destination all mapped out. But you don't. That's the secret. Just knowing your starting point, knowing you're on solid ground, that's what gives you the real power to just start exploring.
You know, maybe this is the best way to think about it all. Life really is like a big puzzle. And yeah, some of the pieces are always going to be missing. The picture might never feel totally complete. But the real trick, the real win, is learning to enjoy the beautiful picture you've already put together.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. What if we just stopped chasing success like it's some far-off destination on the horizon,
And what if we realize that success is actually the foundation we've already built, the one we're standing on right now, at this very moment?